Okay, let's unpack this. We live in a world that doesn't just use data, it runs on it, fundamentally shaping our daily experiences.
hmm It really does.
Just think about your own interactions, right? How does Amazon always seem to know exactly which products you might want to buy next? Maybe even before you realize it yourself.
Yeah, it's almost spooky sometimes.
Or how Netflix magically suggests that perfect show you're about to binge for the next 3 nights straight.
Totally. They've got it down.
And consider the sheer logistical marvel of Starbucks managing its colossal global supply chain, making sure every single coffee shop, from Seattle to Shanghai, has the right beans, milk, cups at precisely the right moment.
It's mind-boggling when you think about the scale.
Or how Uber seamlessly connects millions of drivers with millions of passengers in real time, optimizing routes, predicting demand.
All data-driven.
Every single one of these operations, from the seemingly intuitive to the incredibly complex, is orchestrated and powered by vast, intricate networks of data. And here's a critical shift to grasp. Data isn't just the domain of those massive tech giants anymore, those Silicon Valley behemoths.
Right. That's a really important point.
This isn't just about massive corporations with dedicated data science departments. Data literacy is rapidly becoming a fundamental skill for everyone. From the smallest local business owner trying to understand their customers, to a marketing manager analyzing campaigns, a finance forecasting trends, or even just someone managing their household budget more effectively. Data is, well, it's truly ubiquitous.
What's truly transformative about this moment, and what we're seeing across pretty much every industry, is that while for a long time we might have thought data skills were reserved for, professional analysts.
Yeah, the specialists.
Exactly. Those specialists, perhaps tucked away in a quiet corner. The reality is profoundly different now. Everyone, in virtually every role, works with data to some degree, whether they consciously realize it or not.
That's a great point. You don't always think of it that way.
Think about it. Whether you're a sales manager interpreting monthly figures, a project manager tracking milestones, an HR professional analyzing employee engagement, or even a healthcare provider looking at patient outcomes.
Right.
You are interacting with, and more importantly, needing to make sense of data.
You have to understand it.
The ability to do this effectively, to
Yeah.
elevate your data literacy beyond just like recognizing numbers, is no longer a luxury. It's a core competency.
Absolutely.
This shift isn't just some fleeting trend. It's a fundamental, irreversible change in the demand for data understanding across virtually all professions. It's truly becoming the universal language of modern business, dictating strategy, efficiency, innovation, everything.
And that profound shift, that recognition that data is now everyone's business, well, that's precisely why we've dedicated this deep dive to data storytelling and dashboard design. We're going far beyond just looking at individual charts and graphs, the kind you might, paste into a document. While basic visualization is a great starting point.
Sure, it's a start.
This deep dive is about taking your data literacy to the next level, moving you from merely displaying data to understanding how to craft truly compelling, persuasive narratives with it.
Yeah, making it meaningful.
It's about making your data not just visible, but vocal.
Exactly. It's about empowering you not just to understand the data, to sort of decipher its raw insights, but to communicate those insights so effectively that they drive action, provoke thought.
Right. Make things happen.
And ultimately facilitate better, more informed decisions. We're moving from a passive observation of numbers to an active, impactful engagement with them.
So today, consider this your shortcut. We're giving you a concise yet comprehensive guide to becoming truly well-informed about how to not just look at data, but how to make it speak directly to your audience to articulate its most critical messages. Our source material for this deep dive is drawn directly from an expert demonstration on practical dashboard building, offering incredibly practical, actionable insights and a proven framework.
Yeah, really hands-on stuff.
So buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into making your data tell its most powerful story. Let's get into it. Okay, let's circle back to that initial hook, because it's so fundamental to understanding why this deep dive into data storytelling and dashboard design isn't just interesting, but, well, absolutely essential in today's world.
Right, it sets the stage.
Data is quite literally running the world around us. And it's doing so in ways that are often invisible but incredibly impactful. Think about those examples again. Amazon's recommendation engine.
Yeah.
It isn't just some clever bit of code, it's a sophisticated analysis of billions of data points. It takes into account your past purchases, your browsing history, items you've looked at but didn't buy.
Even what other people like you bought.
Exactly. People who share your patterns. It's a continuous, real-time feedback loop where data drives predictions, which then drive more data collection, refining those predictions endlessly.
It's a constant learning cycle.
And the same intricate dance happens with Netflix. Those highly personalized recommendations that consistently keep you glued to your screen.
Guilty as charged.
Right. Suggesting your next favorite show or movie, they're based on massive data sets of everything you've watched, when you watched it, how long you stayed engaged.
Even what scenes you replayed or skipped.
It's incredibly granular, and it allows them to predict your preferences with, frankly, astonishing accuracy.
They know us well.
Or consider Starbucks, that behemoth managing a global supply chain for, coffee beans, milk, cups, pastries.
Perishables, yeah.
That's tricky. That immense logistical feat ensuring every single one of its thousands of stores across the globe has precisely what it needs, exactly when it needs it, minimizing waste, maximizing freshness. That's entirely orchestrated through a complex web of real-time data analysis.
Supply chain data, sales forecasts.
Even weather patterns impacting deliveries. It's all fed into a system to optimize operations.
Wow.
And Uber.
Yeah.
Connecting drivers and riders in real time, dynamically adjusting pricing based on demand, optimizing routes, predicting where demand will surge next.
Pure data mastery in action.
That's the perfect phrase for it. It's how these massive operations don't just react to market conditions, but actively anticipate our needs, optimize their entire operational footprint, and deliver these seamless, almost magical customer experiences.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it becomes abundantly clear why data literacy is no longer some niche skill, something exclusively for, tech companies or professional analysts.
Right, not just for them anymore.
The sheer volume of information surrounding us, the information deluge, as people call it, makes basic data comprehension a necessity for everyone, regardless of your role or industry.
It's like trying to navigate without reading signs.
Exactly. Imagine trying to operate in today's business environment without data literacy. Whether you're in marketing trying to figure out the ROI of your latest campaign, in finance analyzing market trends and prepping reports, in operations optimizing processes, or even just a small business owner trying to manage inventory and customer relationships.
Yeah, everyone needs it.
Understanding data gives you a powerful, almost unfair edge. It allows you to move beyond gut feelings, anecdotal evidence, or simple intuition.
Which can be so misleading.
Totally. And instead, make truly informed, evidence-based decisions. This deep dive, by focusing specifically on the practical skills of data storytelling and dashboard design, will equip you with the tools to not just see data like, look at a spreadsheet.
Right, just numbers.
But to truly communicate effectively with it. It's about transforming those raw numbers into clear, compelling, and most importantly, actionable insights for yourself and for your stakeholders.
Up to this point, many of us, when we hear data visualization, we might think strictly in terms of individual charts.
Yeah, the basics. Bar charts, line graphs.
Exactly. Maybe a standalone bar chart for sales or a line graph for website traffic. And those are valuable. They're definitely part of the picture.
Sure, they have their place.
But here's where it really begins to shift your perspective and truly elevate your understanding. We're talking about broadening the scope significantly to encompass data storytelling and dashboard design.
It's a bigger concept.
This isn't just about making individual charts pretty or readable. It's about taking those separate visuals and weaving them into a coherent, compelling narrative.
A story, essentially.
Yeah. It's about designing a unified experience that drives understanding, sparks discussion, and most critically, provokes action. The depth here is immense. Our source even emphasizes that entire books are written on this subject.
Oh yeah, it's a deep field.
Highlighting its complexity and critical importance beyond just a simple visual. We're, barely scratching the surface here, but we're giving you the core principles.
To clarify then, dashboards, at their essence, are way more than just collections of charts. They are sophisticated analytical tools specifically designed to consolidate data from multiple, often different sources into a single cohesive view.
Like a command center for your data.
That's a great analogy. Their primary function isn't just to display numbers. It is to track key metrics, monitor performance against goals, and crucially to facilitate real-time data-driven decision-making.
Making it easy to decide.
by presenting this consolidated information in an easily digestible, intuitive format. You'll frequently encounter this kind of sophisticated data storytelling in action in various contexts, maybe in ad hoc reports for specific questions, in compelling presentations designed to sway opinions or inform executives, or most commonly, in explanatory dashboards for ongoing operational monitoring.
Right, the ones people check daily or weekly.
These aren't just collections of static charts. They're carefully constructed visual arguments, guiding the viewer through specific insights, distilling complexity into clarity,
Cutting through the noise.
allowing users to grasp the core message quickly and effectively, leading directly to better, faster, and more informed actions.
So we've established the critical landscape, why data is everywhere, why understanding it is vital, and what data storytelling and dashboards truly entail.
Okay, but now for the practical side.
Yeah, the how-to. How do we actually take all that raw data, those individual charts, and transform them into a clear, compelling story that drives decisions? Our source breaks this entire process down into a practical, actionable, 6-step framework.
A roadmap.
Think of it not just as a checklist, but as your proven recipe for success. A methodical approach that ensures you don't just, throw data at a wall hoping something sticks.
Right. Avoid the spaghetti approach.
But rather you construct a coherent, impactful narrative, step by deliberate step.
This raises an absolutely fundamental question, one that often gets overlooked in the rush to, get to the data.
Yeah, people want to jump right in.
Before you even think about touching a data point, before you open any software, you must absolutely define the dashboard's purpose. This is the critical starting point, the foundation.
Step 1, purpose. Got it.
It's about asking incredibly fundamental, probing questions. Who exactly is your audience? Not just managers, but which managers?
Be specific.
What are their specific goals? Not just vague objectives, but concrete, measurable outcomes they're trying to achieve. What specific questions do they need answers to from this data to achieve those goals?
What answers are they looking for?
And critically, how often will this dashboard be reviewed or used? Daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. That frequency dictates the granularity and timeliness of your data.
Okay.
This foundational step mirrors any robust data analytics framework. You always start with understanding the problem, the business objective, the audience, before any data work.
Makes sense.
Without a clear, articulated purpose, your dashboard will inevitably be a collection of numbers without true meaning, a visually appealing display that ultimately doesn't do its job.
An answer looking for a question.
Exactly, you put it perfectly.
Let's make this concept really concrete with a practical example drawn directly from our source. Imagine for a moment you've just been hired as a BI analyst for Maven Toys.
Okay, toy stores.
Yeah, a nationwide chain, beloved brand, and they've brought you in for a specific challenge. Your very first assignment is to design an explanatory dashboard specifically for their regional sales managers.
Right, the regional level.
Their primary goal, as they've outlined it, is pretty straightforward. They need to understand how their respective sales regions are performing each month.
Monthly review. Got it.
They're going to be reviewing this dashboard at the beginning of every single month, so it needs to be up-to-date, relevant, and crucially, easy to digest for busy managers.
For Maven Toys, the answers to those foundational purpose questions are quite specific, illustrating how this theoretical step translates into practical requirements.
Okay, let's hear it.
The audience is clearly defined, regional sales managers. Their key business goals are straightforward, tied directly to the bottom line. First, increase revenue in their region.
Naturally.
And second, minimize revenue loss due to inventory shortages, products being out of stock.
Ah, the stockouts. Big issue in retail.
Huge. So to achieve these goals, they'll need answers to pointed questions like, how is revenue trending over time? Up, down, flat?
Right.
Which specific products, categories, or stores are driving those trends, positive or negative? What's performing best or worst in their region?
The winners and losers.
And a critical operational question. Are key products out of stock that should be on shelves, potentially costing them sales?
Gotta know what's missing.
And the monthly review frequency is key, as it dictates the temporal granularity. You don't need real-time, hourly data for a monthly review, for instance.
Right. And it's really important to emphasize here that while in this Maven Toys example, the brief seems almost handed to you, neat and packaged.
Yeah, like it's all figured out.
In the messy reality of the business world, defining this purpose usually comes from multiple, often exhaustive, rounds of conversations, interviews, deep dives with stakeholders.
Well, absolutely. It's detective work sometimes.
You're rarely just given a clear mandate. You're often extracting these needs through probing questions, clarifying ambiguities, refining the scope. It's iterative.
Mm-hmm. You
Or
co-create the purpose, really.
I remember early in my career, I jumped straight into building, only to realize halfway through I was solving the wrong problem because I hadn't spent enough time on this initial purpose phase.
That's a common pitfall, and you've hit on a critical point. It happens all the time.
It's a challenge, but essential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So once that purpose is crystal clear, once you know exactly who you're building for and what problems you're trying to solve, then you move to selecting the right metrics.
Okay, step 2, metrics.
This step is about ensuring every single data point you choose to present directly aligns with those defined business goals.
Has to connect back.
And furthermore, it's about determining that the level of detail, the granularity, is appropriate for that specific audience.
Right. CEO gets different stuff than a product manager.
Exactly. The metrics need to serve the decision-making context. If your chosen metrics don't directly tie back to the purpose, they are, quite simply, just noise.
Even if they look cool.
Even if they look cool.
Huh.
They might be impressive, but they won't drive relevant action. This is where you avoid those vanity metrics
Numbers that look good but mean nothing.
and instead focus on actionable metrics that inform specific decisions.
And here's where it really transforms from just listing metrics to a structured, powerful approach. Our source suggests a fantastic pro tip here.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Creating a simple table to map each of your chosen metrics directly against each business goal.
Like a little matrix.
This isn't just a nice-to-have organizational trick. It's a fantastic structured way to document your entire thought process. It makes your choices transparent, defensible, easy to review.
It forces you to justify each metric. Why is this here? If we connect this to the bigger picture, this practice isn't merely about organizing your thoughts for one dashboard. It's about building the foundational elements for a proper data dictionary for your entire organization.
Oh, interesting. Broader implications.
Imagine a living document where every single metric, total revenue, potential revenue loss due to stockouts, has a clear, standardized definition.
Calculation method, source system.
Exactly. Its reporting frequency, who owns it.
Ow.
Adding clear, concise metric definitions here is absolutely crucial, especially with complex or industry-specific metrics.
Where terms can mean different things.
Precisely. Or when reports are shared broadly across departments. A robust data dictionary ensures everyone speaks the same data language, preventing misinterpretations,
Leading to better alignment.
and fostering consistent analysis and decision-making. Without it, you get chaos. One department's customer acquisition cost might be totally different from another's.
Okay, so let's apply this to Maven Toys. For the goal of increasing revenue, what metrics would we track? You'd obviously look at top-line figures, like total revenue. But to make it actionable, you'd break that down. Total revenue by month, for trends, by region, for comparison,
That's category.
by product category, by individual store, even by specific product to pinpoint winners and losers.
Getting granular.
And to add crucial context, you'd always include month-over-month and year-over-year comparisons. These aren't just numbers. They show if performance is an anomaly or a trend.
Absolutely essential context.
Yep.
And for the second key goal for Maven Toys, minimizing revenue loss from inventory shortages, the metrics shift focus.
Okay, what about stockouts?
You track stock on hand at the product level for each store, a clear picture of what's available.
Right.
More importantly, and this is where it gets truly insightful, you'd want to estimate the potential monthly revenue loss.
How do you do that?
It wouldn't just be a guess, it'd be calculated based on what sales would have been if those out-of-stock products had actually been available.
Connecting lost sales to stock levels.
Exactly. It directly quantifies the financial impact of inventory issues, shifting the conversation from a general problem to a measurable financial hit. It shows what they could have sold.
That's powerful. Now, it's incredibly important to acknowledge that this step, selecting metrics, it isn't a black and white one-and-done exercise.
Oh, definitely not.
You won't get it perfect on the first try, and that's okay.
Totally okay. It's iterative.
The source emphasizes this. You'll likely refine this list as you go, and more critically, as you get feedback from the end users, those regional managers.
Their feedback is gold.
Their insights, their aha moments, their feedback on what actually helps them decide. That's key to making sure your metrics provide genuine value.
You have to talk to the users. I've seen teams spend weeks on metrics, only to discover in user testing they missed a crucial one because they didn't engage early enough.
Been there.
With your metrics clearly defined, selected, aligned with goals, The next step is visually representing them effectively. Step 3, visuals.
Okay, choosing the right charts.
It's about moving from raw numbers to intuitive visuals.
Yeah.
This isn't just aesthetics. It's selecting the right types of charts for the job.
Making sure the visual matches the data type.
Exactly. The wrong chart can confuse, obscure, or even actively misrepresent your data, no matter how accurate the numbers are.
So for example, revenue trending over time.
Line chart. Almost always.
Why?
Because it inherently communicates progression, change, continuity across a timeline. Easy to spot trends, peaks, valleys.
Okay. What about the single most important number, like overall revenue by region?
A KPI card is perfect. That prominent display box highlights a key performance indicator, big, bold number, maybe a small trend indicator, gives it emphasis, makes it pop.
Got it. Comparing product categories.
Simple bar chart usually works best.
Mm.
Excellent for discrete comparisons between groups.
And for really detailed stuff like product names, stock levels, revenue figures.
A well-structured table is often best. It allows for presenting precise data points that might get too cluttered in a chart, especially with many dimensions.
Table for details.
Right.
Makes sense.
What's truly crucial here, and sometimes surprising, is that the recommendation isn't about diving into complex, custom visuals or, fancy chart types.
Wait, not about showing off software skills.
Exactly. Simple, universally understood lines, bars, clear KPI cards, well-structured tables are often all you need to tell a powerful story.
Keep it simple.
The goal is absolute clarity, ease of interpretation, speed of comprehension, not artistic complexity. Complex charts often add cognitive load. You have to figure out how to read it first.
Good point. Now here's where good intentions can go wrong. If you just take all those effective individual visuals
Your line charts, bar charts, KPIs.
and just dump them onto the report canvas without careful thought, what happens?
KS, usually.
At best, something cluttered and noisy, visually overwhelming. At worst, completely unintuitive and frustrating.
Doesn't flow.
Even if you've technically checked all the previous boxes, purpose, metrics, charts, the lack of intuitive flow means your work isn't done.
It's like having great ingredients but throwing them on a plate randomly.
Perfect analogy. This stage, too, is highly iterative. You'll move things around, adjust sizing, refine spacing, constantly asking, does this tell the story clearly, until the visual narrative emerges.
Trial and error, guided by principles.
Okay, so you've got your core building blocks. Purpose clear, metrics defined, basic visuals selected. Now it's time to leverage some powerful visualization and storytelling best practices to really make your dashboard shine.
Yeah, time to polish it up.
First up, we need to focus on making things lean and clean. Step 4, eliminate clutter.
When we talk about clutter and noise in dashboards, we mean anything taking up visual space, but not genuinely adding value or contributing meaningfully to the story.
Stuff that's just there.
Right. Think critically. This includes things like distracting 3D formats. They often distort data, make comparisons harder.
Avoid the 3D bars.
Please. Also, excessive arbitrary colors serving no purpose beyond decoration, or worse, creating visual chaos. Busy background images, definitely no. Even seemingly innocuous things like unnecessary grid lines on charts or thick borders around elements can just add visual distraction without aiding interpretation.
Little things add up.
Cumulatively, they create a significant visual barrier, forcing the brain to work harder to filter out the noise. It's about achieving a high data-ink ratio, as Tough Day calls it.
Where every bit of ink conveys data.
Exactly.
This makes me think of one of my absolute favorite quotes. Perfection is achieved not when there's nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away.
Oh, Saint-Exupéry. Perfect quote for this.
What incredibly wise words for dashboard design. It's not about cramming more in, it's about surgically stripping away everything that doesn't serve the purpose. Ruthless editing.
The why behind removing clutter is rooted in cognitive science and critical thinking. Every single element on your dashboard should have a clear, justifiable purpose.
Does it earn its place?
If it doesn't just sit there benignly. It actively distracts your audience, diluting the impact, increasing cognitive load. We want them focused on insights, not filtering noise.
Respect their time and effort.
Precisely. Make your message direct, impactful, undeniable. Maximize that data-ink ratio.
Let's walk through some specific practical examples of decluttering that Maven Toys dashboard, that revenue line chart.
Okay, yeah.
We can simplify the axis labels, the data labels, maybe make them less prominent if the trend's the main point. Definitely remove redundant grid lines and unnecessary borders.
Clean it up.
We can also change color strategically, draw attention to the current year, make it pop against historical trends, guide the eye immediately.
Yeah, use color with purpose.
Exactly.
Similarly, with the product category bar charts, apply the same principles, simplify labels, remove borders, and use color strategically there too, instead of a different color for every bar.
A rainbow effect.
Right. Avoid that. Maybe use color only to highlight top performers, bottom performers, or just positive versus negative trends.
Makes sense.
And here's that incredibly helpful, often overlooked tip. Make it colorblind friendly. Opt for palettes using blues and oranges instead of the common problematic red and green.
Yeah, the accessibility point. Super important.
A significant portion of the population can't distinguish red and green well. Your highlights become useless to them.
Good call. And for those detailed product tables,
How do we clean those up?
kill the borders, boxing, and every cell. They often just create a grid-like prison for the data. Adjust text alignment, left-align text, right-align numbers for scannability,
Consistency helps.
or even better, add conditional formatting. Subtle color scales, small icons, to really focus the eye on which products are driving gains or losses, or which are critically out of stock without manual scanning.
Let the visuals do the work.
Right.
Even with just a handful of these relatively simple design tweaks, removing stuff, using colors strategically, simplifying type, the clarity and polish significantly
It
improve.
looks better, easier to read.
It transforms from busy and chaotic into something inviting, intuitive, effective. This raises an important question for you, the listener. What elements in your own data presentations could you take away right now? What ink could you remove to amplify your core message?
Yeah, what can you subtract? Good challenge. Okay, once your visuals are clean, defluttered, conveying their message clearly, it's time for the powerful act of strategically assembling them into an intuitive layout. Step 5, layout.
Putting the pieces together.
This is where you really start crafting that narrative, actively guiding your viewers' attention through the data logically and impactfully. It's more than just fitting everything on screen.
It's about visual hierarchy, telling a story before they read a single number.
How do we do that?
Well, this step leverages fundamental principles of how people read, especially in Western cultures. Viewers typically start at the top left corner,
Top left.
and then they scan right, then move down, following either a Z reading pattern or an F pattern.
Z or F, like the letters.
Exactly. Their eyes move left-right, diagonally down left, then right again, Z, or across the top, then down the left, glancing right, F. It's ingrained. We should leverage this.
Use how people naturally read to our advantage.
Absolutely. Their eyes are trained to follow this path.
The implication is clear and powerful. Feature the most important high-level information towards the top left. That's your prime real estate.
Capture attention immediately, deliver critical insights up front.
So with Maven Toys, we might tweak the header. Put the main title, Regional Sales Performance Overview, squarely in that top left corner, first thing they see. And then maybe bump the less important company logo or filters over to the right. Seems minor, but it's strategic.
It's deliberate, prioritizing information, guiding focus, given that the top objective is revenue growth.
Right, number one goal.
It makes absolute sense to place the revenue KPI cards and the trending chart in that prime real estate on the left side.
Makes sense. Big numbers, main trend, top left.
You can further enhance this using font size and color. Emphasize the current month's total revenue, make it the immediate focal point. Subtly de-emphasize month-over-month, year-over-year context figures.
Okay.
And what's fascinating here is using a subtle design principle called enclosure. Placing a light border or distinct background around these revenue elements visually groups them.
Ah, so that little box groups them in the viewer's mind.
Exactly. It leverages a Gestalt design principle, tells the user without words. These are all part of the revenue story. Focus here first. Reduces cognitive load by pre-organizing it.
Clever.
Another best practice, building on that. Progressively get more granular as the viewer moves through the dashboard.
Start high level, then drill down.
Right. So immediately following the overall revenue trends, the category level bar charts come next, a slightly more detailed breakdown.
Okay.
And notice how a clever design trick can work here. Axis labels can be removed from one chart and perfectly aligned with an adjacent one to create continuity.
Oh, so they share an axis visually.
Yeah, another Gestalt principle. Helps the viewer see them as connected parts of a whole. Reduces effort, makes the visual journey effortless.
Nice trick.
Then, as the viewer continues down and right, following that natural pattern, we finally get to the most granular product level.
The nitty-gritty details.
This is where we'd put our top 5 and bottom 5 product tables. the specific data managers might need for precise actions, promotions, interventions.
Mm,
Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, because everything so far has been mostly revenue-focused,
right, all about sales.
it's really wise to create clear visual separation for the stock and inventory data. Tell the user implicitly, now we're looking at a distinct but related story.
How do you separate it?
Maybe adding more enclosure around the products with no stock table, playing the KPI card for a potential revenue loss right next to it. This clearly ties back to that second key business objective.
Grouping the inventory stuff together.
Exactly. This deliberate visual separation ensures that second crucial objective isn't overlooked, making that part of the story stand out on its own.
Okay, at this point, your dashboard is looking incredibly good. It's clean, it's well organized, the layout skillfully guides the eye. You've tackled the science and art of visualization.
Looking sharp.
But remember, the final and arguably most impactful step in our framework is truly telling a clear, actionable story. Step 6. Tell the story.
This is where it comes alive.
This is where your data transcends mere numbers and static visuals and becomes a compelling narrative that moves people to action.
You've hit on the crux of it. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to tell that story, to give it that compelling voice, is by replacing default generic chart titles.
Like Chart 1 or sales data.
Exactly. Replace those with meaningful descriptive text that immediately conveys the insight.
Ask a question or state the finding in the title.
Precisely. Instead of a bland revenue by month, use a title that asks, how did the region perform in September 2021? Or states an insight, revenue growth slows in Q3. Provides context immediately.
Okay.
Additionally, using font colors and styles strategically bolding key numbers, using a distinct color for the takeaway, varying font sizes helps users quickly interpret what they're looking at and grasp the key message without digging.
Provide immediate clarity. Makes sense. Let's look at some direct comparisons from the source to really highlight just how transformative this can be. Instead of just revenue by month, imagine how did the region perform in September 2021?
Much better. Frames it instantly.
Or instead of total revenue, it reads, this is how much revenue we generated. More direct, active.
Yeah, it speaks to you.
And for the revenue split, instead of revenue split by product category, maybe this is the revenue split by category, and where these 5 products drove increases and decreases.
Wow, yeah. That tells you exactly what to look for.
Do you see how these active descriptive titles immediately frame the data, give context, often provide the key insight up front, saves cognitive effort?
What's truly fascinating here, and often overlooked, is how this seemingly minor transformation, changing a few words in a title, elevates a dry, static report into a coherent, flowing narrative.
It just clicks.
It's so much clearer. So much easier to follow because you're literally telling the viewer what they should be looking at and what it means. This raises an important question. How often do we bury the lead in our data presentations with generic titles?
Making the audience work too hard.
Exactly. By being explicit, active, insightful in your titles, you guide understanding, minimize misinterpretation, and accelerate the path to action. It's a powerful move.
Exactly. It's a great way to help your end users and stakeholders cut to the chase, get exactly the information they need, quickly and efficiently. You're doing the heavy lifting of interpretation for them, allowing them to focus their energy not on understanding the data, but on acting on it.
It's the difference between showing them a map and telling them the destination.
Love that. Perfect.
The final and arguably most crucial part of true data storytelling is to tie it all up with specific insights and actionable recommendations.
Okay, the so what and what next.
Exactly. It's not enough to show what happened, the what, and the how much. You need to move beyond that. For our Maven Toys example, based on the insights clearly visible in the dashboard, this might mean highly specific concrete recommendations for the regional managers. Things like launch new products similar to play foam because the data shows it's performing exceptionally well.
And more of what works.
Or, conversely, phase out underperforming items like Rubik's Cubes if the data clearly indicates a sustained decline.
Cut the losers.
It could also involve immediate tactical actions like restock headphones at the JFK store specifically because the dashboard revealed significant potential revenue loss there due to stockouts.
Very specific, actionable advice.
This final step is where the story you've so carefully crafted delivers its ultimate value. It demonstrates how understanding the data leads directly to impactful, real-world action and tangible business outcomes. It transforms insights into strategy.
Makes the whole process worthwhile. #outro. So what does this all mean for you, our dedicated listener? You've just completed a pretty comprehensive deep dive into the powerful art and science of data storytelling and dashboard design.
We covered a lot.
We've guided you through a transformative journey from the absolute necessity of defining your purpose with crystal clarity
Step 1.
to meticulously choosing the right metrics aligned with goals, effectively presenting data with appropriate visuals, surgically stripping away clutter,
Getting lean and clean.
thoughtfully designing the layout to guide the eye, and finally crafting a truly compelling narrative that demands action. You now have a practical 6-step framework to guide your journey,
Yeah, solid blueprint.
from raw data to impactful insights.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, mastering these skills isn't merely about making prettier charts or, nicer looking dashboards. It's about something far more profound.
More than just aesthetics.
It's about empowering truly effective decision-making across an organization. It's about fostering critical thinking in a world saturated with information, cutting through the noise to find clarity.
Turning numbers into action.
It's about transforming raw, often overwhelming, numbers into clear, actionable insights that drive real change, spark innovation, lead to better outcomes. Communicating complexity with simplicity. Leveraging data as a strategic asset.
Now that you've seen how this comprehensive process works, how to move systematically from disparate raw data to a clear, compelling narrative, what data story are you going to tell next?
The challenge for you.
What stack of information do you have right now, those spreadsheets sitting there, those unwieldy reports, those scattered data points that, with these insights and this framework, could be transformed into a truly powerful narrative?
Something that sparks understanding and drives action in your world.
Yeah.
This raises an important question for you to ponder and, more importantly, to act upon. Where in your own professional or even personal life could you immediately apply the 6-step framework?
Where can you use this today?
To bring clarity, illuminate patterns, and ultimately drive better outcomes. The ability to communicate effectively and persuasively with data is no longer confined to specific job titles.
It's for everyone.
It is truly a skill for life, applicable far beyond just business meetings, permeating every aspect of informed decision-making in the modern world.
A skill for life. Great way to put it. Go forth and tell your data story.
Exactly. Go tell those stories.